All right, folks, welcome to yet another episode. In this episode, we want to talk about what are the early signs that a relationship will not last. So if people begin a relationship, many people are likely to break, many people are likely to continue. So what are the early signs that a relationship will not last? The first sign to look out for if a relationship will not last is that there's lack of communication or reduction in communication. You see, relationship is the wheels upon which a relationship thrives. If there's reduction in communication or there's no communication at all in trying to build that relationship, it's not going to last, because the only way or one of the first ways that we connect in a relationship is through communication. Another early sign that will make you know that a relationship will not last is that there's frequent argument in the relationship. You are always arguing over little issues, always arguing, always fighting. That will mean that that relationship will not last. Another thing that will make you see that a relationship will not last is that the two partners never find solutions to problems in the relationship. When there are problems, they sweep it under the carpet. They don't discuss it. They don't find ways to deal with the problem. If that behavior is entertained where you don't find solutions to problems in that relationship is going to break. Another sign that a relationship will break is when there's lack of financial support from one of the partners. Whilst one partner tries to invest in the relationship, financially, another person will not really put any money at all in the relationship. It means that the relationship is going to, break down, because one will feel the pressure and the stress of always being the one to give finances. Again, when one partner who is depending excessively on the other for support for everything, when you depend on your partner excessively, that can also be a huge sign that the relationship will not last. It has to be mutual. Whilst this person supports the other person supports the other, that will be a huge way that the relationship will last. Another early sign the relationship will not last is when there's lack of trust. When none of you trust each other in the relationship. You can only be in a relationship with someone if you trust them. And if there's no trust, that relationship won't last. I can bet you on that one. Another early sign the relationship will not last is when there are different goals. Of course, goals will never really be the same of both a man and a woman in a relationship, but there should be some alignment, some, a bit of uniformity in the goals, so that there are things that you can do together, and that is what will make a relationship last. So when there are different goals, entirely different goals in the relationship, then there's going to be a problem. Of course, when there are different core values in terms of religion and beliefs, that can also be a huge sign that the relationship will not last. You belong to different religions, you have different religious beliefs. That is going to be a point of fight and confusion in the relationship, and that relationship will definitely not last. Another early sign that a relationship will not last is when there's a lack of interest in each other's life. So two partners in a relationship, if you don't show interest in the life, in the development of your partner, and the other partner also doesn't show interest in the life and your development, there are huge chances that the relationship will break. Because when we have interest in people, that's when they feel comfortable, that they always want to be around us. Another early sign that a relationship will break is when you are extremely controlling. When you try to control everything your partner does, they will not feel comfortable in a relationship, and that relationship will break. Because people need to have the freedom, to think and make decisions for themselves sometimes. So you don't have to really extremely control them. Another huge sign that a relationship will not last is when, there's inconsistent effort in the relationship. Whilst you try to put a lot of effort to make the relationship work, the other partner is like, I don't really care about this relationship. I'm not going to put any effort in it. If there's one of you not putting effort in the relationship to make it work, it will not last. My last point for you to know that a relationship will not last is frequent destructive criticism. If you are almost always putting, everything that happens, the negative ones that happens on your partner, criticizing them, all the time, destructively, negatively, then you are definitely going to make that relationship last. So, of course, we need to criticize, but it has to be constructive criticism of things that will really make the relationship progress, and so on and so forth. If in the relationship, any of you is abusing the other verbally, physically, it is a huge sign that the relationship will not last. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.